From being one of, if not the most hated high school hooper ever, to becoming one of the NBA's best young up-and-coming talent in a span of just 2 years, goes to show on how inspirational Tyler Herro's story really is. Now, he really did have a goal in mind and was for certain to reach that goal despite all the crazy slander that was getting poured down on him. But he truly had a great competitive humility about him that really helped him along the way. This is the Tyler Herro story. Tyler Herro was born on January 20th, 2000 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His father, Chris, was a basketball player at Florida State, but an unfortunate ACL injury derailed him from making it into the NBA. But as Tyler came up, his father was his coach and pushed him and was extremely hard on him. He really didn't stand out until his junior and senior year, because while attending Whitnell High School, located in Greenfield, Wisconsin, as a senior, he averaged 33 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals per contest, while shooting 50% from the field and 43% from behind the three-point line. And while it may have seemed as though that he was the fan favorite and well liked around the town, the fact of the matter is that he wasn't. Tyler received a lot of hate, and his name was being tarnished every single game. Now, with Tyler being from Wisconsin, he had originally committed to play there for college. But after rethinking the decision with his family, he chose to decommit and sign with Kentucky, which left Wisconsin fans extremely heated. But things would only get worse, because soon after he made the decision to decommit from Wisconsin, his family woke up one morning at around 9 a.m. and when they looked outside, every single thing in the yard was covered in red spray paint, from the trees to the grass. His car and his dad's truck were getting vandalized as well, along with their entire yard getting rolled. And he even had people egging his house. But this was also around the same time he started to receive hateful letters in the mail and even got death threats. The hate just kept building up. There would be tons of signs at games referring Tyler as a snake and traitor, but it just never affected him. He played his game each and every night, leaving the opposing team's fans disappointed. Now, the fact that he wasn't just receiving dislike from the opposing fans, but also had to deal with the dislike from his own fans on a night in, night out basis, just went to show on how mentally tough he was at such that young age. It really prepared him for what the next levels would bring. On the court, he really embraced being the villain, as the negativity he received every game only allowed him to flourish. It was clear by now that he wasn't afraid of any battle and was only going to feed off of the negativity. So after his amazing senior campaign, he was quite underrated when he chose to sign at the University of Kentucky. Coming out of high school as a 4-star recruit, he just wasn't projected to be a one-and-done type player. And in his very first practice at Kentucky, he couldn't guard anybody. And head coach John Calipari even said that he was one of the worst defenders we had, and he thought that he wasn't going to play much because of that. But through hard work, he managed to improve that aspect of his game. And just like that, midway through the season, he was averaging 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, and found his way on NBA mock drafts all across the country. So after becoming the SEC Freshman of the Year, he chose to enter the 2019 NBA Draft, in which he was able to get drafted 13th overall by the Miami Heat. In his rookie season, he was able to average 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. But in the 2020 NBA bubble was where he really made a name for himself. He averaged 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in 29 games. He became the youngest player ever to score at least 30 points off the bench, because in the Eastern Conference Finals, Herro dropped 37 points in a win in Game 4 versus the Boston Celtics. He was a big help in his team making the finals until losing to the Lakers, and by now he was a household name and was projected to be the next big young superstar. He ended his rookie campaign being named to the NBA All-Rookie second team, but in his second year, he hit a wall. He missed almost a quarter of the season with injury. The organization also became worried about Tyler being more concerned about his celebrity status. It just seemed as though he lost focus. In the 2021 playoffs, his numbers failed as he only averaged 8 points, 2 assists on 28% shooting, and 33% from deep. And the Miami Heat ended up getting swept by the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. But heading into year 3, he knew that he was going to have to improve drastically. Herro was amazing. He was the Heat's second best scorer off the bench and had 8 30-plus point games. He averaged 21 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds per contest, while shooting 44% from the field and 39% from 3. He led the team in usage rate, which was 27.8%. while also setting a career high in true shooting percentage of .561%. Herro even scored 1,162 points off the bench, which was most in a single season in Miami Heat history. Tyler also managed to have 20-25 point games off the bench, which was the most over the past 30 years and 4th most in league history. His stellar regular season allowed him to be awarded 6th Man of the Year. He closed the regular season as the Heat's second leading scorer, behind Jimmy Butler. Now, as the Miami Heat entered the 2022 playoffs being the #1 seed, Tyler's production dipped. He scored 13 points per game off 41% shooting and only 23% from 3. It became extremely clear that although he had a career year, he just didn't look himself in the playoffs. Now, he was battling a groin injury throughout the postseason, which did force him to miss some time. So after the Heat lost to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, Herro agreed to a 4-year contract extension worth $130 million. But heading into the current season, Tyler has been having his best season, averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists per contest. He's also been shooting 40% from 3 for the first time in his career. On December 14th, 2022, Herro scored 35 points in a win versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, which featured him making 9 threes. But he didn't stop there. On the very next night, Herro matched the Miami Heat record with 10 3-pointers and scored a career high 41 points, which helped the Heat beat the Houston Rockets. Herro became the 4th Heat player to hit 10 threes in a game. He also joined Stephen Curry and James Harden as the only players in NBA history to make at least 9 threes in consecutive games, and he is the only one to do it in consecutive days. From all the negativity to all the death threats that Tyler Herro received as a high schooler only prepared him for the next levels. But even when he lost focus and kind of drifted away from the grind, from all the records he broke and success that he experienced in just his first season in the NBA, he undoubtedly took it as a learning experience, which is a reason why that today he's one of the hardest workers on his team.
Getting older, and I have a kid now and another one on the way, but it's just a blessing to have someone that that motivates me every single day to continue to push.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tyler Herro story.